You did not get into this business to sell configuration hours. At some point, that became the model anyway. The market is now forcing the question most SaaS partners have been putting off for too long. Hello, this is Paul, and welcome to the Paul Higgins podcast. Today, I want to talk about the number that came out of the Forrester study on Microsoft modern work partners. The number is 60%. That is the share of the year-on-year revenue growth that AI accounted for those partners in 2025 full financial year. But I do not want to talk about Microsoft specifically. I want to talk about what that number means to every SaaS partner on every platform, because the dynamic it describes is not unique just to Microsoft. It is playing out across, you name it, Salesforce, Zoho, HubSpot, Monday, every other platform you could name, and every other platform you're probably working with. The vendors are all running the same play. Most SaaS partners are not seeing it yet. And here is what the Forrester data actually shows. AI now accounts for 14%, that's right, 14% of the total expected revenue opportunity for Microsoft modern work partner. That 14% did not exist in any meaningful way 2 years ago. And within that AI revenue, the fastest growing category was not deployment work. It was advisory services, up 63% in a single year. The customer or the customers are not asking partners to configure things. They are asking partners to help them figure out what AI should actually do for their business. This is a fundamental different conversation, and it pays differently. Now, here is why this matters regardless of your platform. Your vendor, whoever that is making the technical work easier on purpose. Every quarter, the configuration that used to require skilled partners takes less time, less expertise, and in some cases, no partner at all. This is not a bug. That is the product roadmap. The vendors want adoption. The fastest path to adoption is reducing friction, and you are part of that friction if your value is in the technical setup. I talk to SaaS partners every week who know this is coming, but are waiting to feel the pressure before they act. The problem with that strategy is that by the time you feel it, the partners who moved to advisory 12 months ago have already built the relationships, the reputation, and the recurring revenue that goes with it. You are not competing on a level playing field anymore. You are competing against someone who has a 12-month head start on you. So, what does the shift actually look like? The Forrester data is specific. The partners capturing AI revenue are doing three things. They are running advisory engagements that help clients understand where AI fits within their business before implementation happens. They are building recurring managed services that sit on top of whatever gets deployed. And they are developing solutions, meaningful productized offers, not just bespoke delivery. Those three things have one thing in common. None of them are sold by the hour. None of them require the founder in every piece of delivery, and all of them compound over time in a way that project work never does. This brings me to the three decisions I want you to sit with after you've heard this episode or watched it on YouTube. The first is the who decision. Who specifically do you serve? And are you known for something specific enough that when AI advisory comes up in the world, your name comes up first? If you are serving everyone on your platform across every industry, the answer to that question is probably no. Generalist partners will lose the advisory conversation to someone who goes deep in a specific vertical. The reason is simple. Customers paying for advisory are paying for pattern recognition. They want someone who has seen their problem before. If you have not gone deep enough to have seen it before, you are not the advisor. You are the implementer with a new pitch. Second is the what decision. Does your offer include a recurring advisory layer, or are you still selling projects? The Forrester data is not ambiguous on this. Advisory and managed services are where the growth is. Projects are where the commoditization is. If your current offer has no recurring component, you are building a business requires you to resell from zero every single month. That is not a business problem. That is a what decision you have not made as yet. The third and the last is how decision. Can your business deliver advisory without you being in every conversation? Because if the answer is no, then even if you make the what decision, you have capped the revenue at whatever you can personally deliver in a week. Advisory at scale requires a system. It requires documented thinking, repeatable frameworks, and delivery that does not depend on you being in the room. Here is what I want you to take away. The 60% figure is not Microsoft's story exclusively. It is an early signal of what happens when a platform ecosystem matures and vendors start absorbing the technical work. It has happened on every major platform over time. The partners who survive each of these shifts do not do it by getting better at the technical work. They do it by moving up the value chain before the pressure arrived. The question is not whether to make the move. The question is whether you make it now while you are on the runway, or later when you have the margin pressure forcing your hand. If you want to work out which of the three decisions, the who, what, and how, is the actual constraint in your business right now, just go to talkpaul.com, book a 30-minute call. We will work on it together. See you next time on the Paul Higgins podcast. That's a wrap for today's conversation. If it landed, the next step is simple. Book a 30-minute call at talkpaul.com. That's talkpaul.com. You talk about where you are now, where you want to be, and what's blocking you or getting in the road. If I can help, we'll go from there. And if you found value in this episode, share it with one other SaaS partner who needs to hear it today. Until next time, goodbye.